Hey, what's up guys? It's the Crypto Ginger here. Just wanted to bring you a quick bit of cryptocurrency news I found interesting in this extremely bearish market we're dealing with. We actually went below our market cap of $200 billion just recently. And of course, we're currently sitting at $195 billion. And looking at the charts, guys, on CoinMarketCap, you can easily see that we are still what looks to be in a downwards trend with all of our altcoins, with the entire market cap itself. We could see a little bit more pullback from this and some more correction until we're getting closer to the end of September, where we should hear more references about the SEC, some regulations, and of course the CBOE ETFs that should be either approved or rejected by the SEC. Those are going to be some major points there that actually will have an impact negatively or positively for the entire market cap. So we have some things to look forward to, of course. My guess, with all the news, with all the information that we've been gathering from all these big companies, all of these cryptocurrency developments, that we should be seeing some positivity in the way of money coming back into the cryptocurrency market by the end of this year, possibly even going into 2019. That right now, as of now, is more or less speculation, because again, it's all based off of news from sources that we're reading from YouTubers such as myself, and of course any news that you can gather online. So taking all of that with a grain of salt, guys, I kind of want to jump into one little thing here. As you can tell, Ethereum has been in the news, and it's dropped significantly since January of this year. I believe at the beginning of January, we were sitting at roughly around $1,400 Ethereum coin, and now we're sitting at $194 Ethereum coin, and it is still dropping. And of course, news articles such as this one right here is interesting because they're stating that Ethereum crash is still not over, and most of the reason why is, and I'm not trying to be redundant because this information is pretty much saturated in the market as far as Ethereum is concerned, but their ICOs, the ICOs that were established off of Ethereum's blockchain and the open source technology, a lot of those ICOs started selling off their Ethereum coins after they made their earnings, so that way they don't lose any profit while the entire market cap dropped like it has been. And companies such as EOS took advantage of that pretty heavily there. In this article, they stated that even back as far as June, when the company EOS recognized that Ethereum's price per coin was around $600, they cashed out everything, again, so they don't lose any profits on that. And rightfully so, because when you see the price point of all of your tokens dropping, instead of losing any more value, you definitely want to cash out and use that kind of money to help fund the rest of your technology. So I would imagine that is what a lot of ICOs did that were, at least the ones that are still in existence. If there are any ICOs that were just scams, they've already left. However, there are ways for things to save Ethereum, and we'll kind of go over that a little bit here. In this article, it kind of tries to answer that question, what can save Ethereum? And they specify that the answer to this question is simple. The markets need to turn around before it gets worse for Ethereum. Crypto traders and the institutional investors need to start buying and pushing for the massive adoption of cryptocurrencies for day-to-day commerce, such as paying for coffee. This is the only way the demand for all digital assets will go up, thus causing a ripple effect that will raise the price of Ethereum. A second option would be for the Ethereum core developers to solve the scalability issue on the network to enable for faster transaction speeds as well as cheaper transactions. This will prevent dApp creators and users from moving to more efficient platforms such as Tron and Zilliqa. So guys, again, we're seeing the same kind of answers in regards to what could potentially save Ethereum. And I would imagine that on top of these more notable ideas here, we have other ideas such as what the Winklevoss twins are trying to do with their Gemini project there, by launching what is stated here in this article as a pegged to the dollar cryptocurrency through Gemini, and I believe it's something around called the Gemini coin. To get in a little bit more detail, in this particular article that goes into the Gemini cryptocurrency coin pegged to the dollar, it states here that cryptocurrency exchange Gemini announced Monday that it is launching a dollar-backed stablecoin built on Ethereum, the coin we just talked about having issues. The Gemini dollar is designed to provide liquidity for users hoping to send or receive US dollars through the Ethereum network, a press release has stated. It will be strictly pegged to the dollar, with the Gemini Trust Company holding US deposits corresponding to the number of tokens in circulation. Notably, the release stated the New York Department of Financial Services has reviewed and approved the Gemini dollar. So guys, we have what sounds to be some bigger entities backing up this particular stablecoin from Gemini, which is good because if you are familiar with Tether USDT, we have had a lot of controversial news coming out regarding whether or not there is even a dollar pegged to each one of those particular coins. Again, the Tether coin, because it is supposed to be acting as a stablecoin as well. Now, of course, from previous news, and I've also had this in some of my previous videos, there have been major people as far as lawyers that came through and stated that they verified on behalf of Tether that there was enough money basically to back up each individual Tether coin, but we haven't had an official audit done, or at least seen news about an official audit done regarding Tether. So that is still up in the air. And there's a lot of speculation that because of that, we could potentially see maybe a decline or a downfall in Tether itself, especially with Gemini creating their own stablecoin and it actually coming out from New York Department of Financial Services that it is actually approved and possibly even just simply pegged by each individual US dollars for each individual Gemini coin. So keep that in mind, guys. Again, this is a coin that's being developed on the Ethereum platform there, so this could be a great boost for Ethereum as well, something that could save it. Lastly here, guys, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about here, and I think that this has been kind of iterated and reiterated enough, but I find this very interesting because, again, this is something that could potentially help push for more adoption and give a little bit more credibility to cryptocurrencies for people who have been concerned. But crypto assets are here to stay, says EU Commission Vice President. I won't go too heavily into this particular article here. I just want you guys to know that there are many companies, entities, businesses on this planet that are looking for the future of blockchain technology to be something that is the next process of evolution for either their company or their product of services. And we see this happening all over the world, all over the globe. We have places like China that are looking to use primarily the blockchain technology and to avoid as much as possible anything having to do with cryptocurrencies in general. So keep that in mind, guys. In this particular article, it says the European Commission, the executive body that processes legislation for the EU, will this year conclude a regulatory assessment for the governance of crypto assets because they are, quote unquote, here to stay, a high-level official has said. Speaking at a press conference after a meeting of the Economic and Financial Affairs Council last Friday, Valdis Dombrovskis, Vice President of the European Commission, said member states are supportive of move to chart regulation governing the cryptocurrency industry in the economic region. He also goes as far as to state, we also have a good exchange of views on crypto assets. We see the crypto assets are here to stay. Despite the recent turbulence, this market continues to grow. So there is a lot of economical growth that's taking place right now in regards to the development of new projects, new platforms, dApps, things of that nature, but we're going to have to see more mass adoption. We're going to have to see more regulations coming through, and we'll be able to see more money coming in as far as institutional investors. My idea behind this, at least from how I'm foreseeing this, is that if you want the big money to come in, they need to be secure. They need those people that are, you know, dealing with millions, billions, and possibly even trillions of dollars coming into the market do not want to have any of that money scammed from them. Rightfully so, we understand, and they're not going to allow for that. So until we see the regulations kick in for that, we won't see that money kick in to the cryptocurrency market anytime soon. So I would imagine, again, at the end of September, October, possibly even November, just the end of 2018 is when we're going to start seeing possibly a shift in the positive for cryptocurrencies because of news that we're going to hear. And then, of course, going into 2019, all the new developments with a lot of these cryptocurrencies, these companies that are dealing like Ripple, Stellar Lumens, we'll be able to see a lot more of that coming out, and in the action of these platforms and these companies going into effect. Again, whether or not the cryptocurrency is going to be used is a different story, but the blockchain technology behind a lot of these companies and these coins is definitely something that's of interest for a lot of these investors. So again, I apologize for going off on a tangent. I do that sometimes in my videos, but I'm trying to get a well-rounded video for you guys so you have a better understanding of what is potentially happening in the cryptocurrency market. Something else, guys, and I apologize for doing this, but I really enjoyed this in regards to gathering the kind of news that I find that is more or less important here and there, but you get a lot of it, is this app. It's called Berm. And I'm telling you about this because, again, there's readily available news every day, minute after minute sometimes, when it comes to you know, what you might want to know or what's happening in the world that you might not be available to get immediately. This app will absolutely do that for you. You have multiple options to choose from as far as the types of news you want to get through. Another thing as well, you actually get rewarded, and you can see here on the top left where it says vote reward here. If you hit that and go to vote, you'll actually be able to go through and click on this little option here at the bottom, whether it's a bullish, and you can see I just highlighted it and it gave me one Berm. That's the coin that I'm getting, or it's a coin token I'm getting from this application here, just again for upvoting or downvoting whether or not I like the news that was presented there. And guess what, guys? Each one of those coins adds up because, as you can see here, just for getting that one Berm coin, I actually got 5 cents. So for each like that you give in the news articles on this application here, you get an additional 5 cents. You get to do that 10 times a day. And just as well, if you go through, guys, I'm going to leave the link in the description. Open up your account for Berm. If you want 150 free Berm coins right now, you see this code where it says AD1C0AEB as in boy. Put that in where it says redeem tokens, guys. Hit redeem. That's my code. It'll automatically give you 150 Berm. If you have anybody else who has this code, ask them for the code and you will receive an additional 150 Berm. These are coins that will add up, so once this Berm application has finished its ICO phase, those tokens will be released to anybody who has acquired them, and you'll be rewarded with them just for the sake of having been part of this. So guys, keep that in mind. Again, it all adds up. I have already gathered upwards of $80 worth of free Berm coins just simply because of this and liking all the news. So take that approach. Primarily because of the news, I love it. You get tons and tons of articles that you can look at. You can go to the all featured and you get just a list of news. You will be always up to date. So keep that in mind, guys. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. If you like what you see, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button just as well. And for future videos, hit that little notification bell. Love you guys. Hope you have a good one. And happy crypto hunting. Bye-bye.